man, where do I start? Okay, let's get probably the only thing that this movie got right out of the way first: the VFX, the set design, and the production. If I had to judge this movie for how it looked, it would get a 9 on 10. But if I had to judge it for anything else, I don't even want to judge it. Written and directed by Dr. Chandra Prakash Dwivedi, Samrat Prithviraj, for the lack of better verbiage, was a disaster. From the very first scene, you can tell that they have spent a lot of time and money on the VFX and the set design. And despite the line looking good, despite it looking really good, in fact, in the close-up shots, not so good in the wide angle shots, I wish that they spent some of that money on, I don't know, getting better actors or getting a better script in hand. Being an Akshay Kumar fan, despite all of the skepticism surrounding his casting as Samrat Prithviraj, I was excited after they released the trailer because it looked so good. The music was intense, some of the scenes looked intense. Manav Vij as Mohammad Ghori looked scary and intense. But once you watch the movie, you realize he's there on screen for a total of 15 minutes out of a supposed historic epic which is running for a meager 2 hours 15 minutes. Now, I'm not saying that historical movies have to necessarily be long, but at least figure out what part of the story you're trying to tell if you're going to keep it in a compressed 2 hour 15 minute movie. Now, most people would know that there were two major battles in the life of Prithviraj. The first battle starts within the first 15 minutes of the movie, and by the 16th minute, it's over. We were promised good action, good combat, good sword fighting, but all of that lasts for a collective of maybe 5 minutes. So what else are we left to watch? Well, I don't think the director himself knew. For some reason, instead of focusing on the two fights with Mohammad Ghori, the movie wastes its time on the love story between Samrat and Sanyogita, and how her father Jai Chandra, played skillfully, might I say, by Ashutosh Rana, who is probably the only person in this movie that has tried and acted to his potential. The movie focuses more on his fight with Prithviraj's army than it does on anything else. Also, good God, someone, please, if you are free enough, do this. Put a Prithviraj counter for the amount of times the word Prithviraj is said in this movie. We get it. It's in the title. Sanjay Dutt shouts his way through the movie. Akshay Kumar is more Akshay Kumar than he is Samrat Prithviraj. Manushi Chillar has actually done a fairly decent job, but fails to leave any sort of impact on you. And what can I say about Manav Vij? An actor who is so talented is absolutely wasted as Mohammad Ghori in this movie, because he's barely there on screen, and when he's there, he's not really given any scary or intense dialogues. He just has a big beard and droopy eyes. The cinematography, however, by Manush Nandan is exceptionally good. The movie is gorgeous to look at, and that is the only reason I think I was actually able to sit through it. The shots of Akshay Kumar and the rest of his army riding on their horses, the shots of Manushi Chillar dancing in beautiful dresses and beautiful colors on screen, amongst other things, are what make this movie watchable, if I may say so. If I had to describe this movie in one word, it would be underwhelming. I was so underwhelmed by the movie. Not one scene in this movie left an impact on me. I was only laughing at the movie rather than marveling at it and being enamored by it. Historical epics take a certain level of nuance that we've seen in movies like Jodha Akbar, Bajirao Mastan, and even Padmavat for that matter. Whereas movies like Panipat and Samrat Prithviraj are just made for the sake of being made and are given this certain star power. But that star power clearly does not work, because Akshay Kumar cannot save this movie. In fact, I'd argue he's barely there in it. The movie was basically just a big mess. I watched Major right before I watched this movie. Samrat Prithviraj was the movie I watched back to back after Major. So my level of disappointment was just heightened because of how good Major was and how bad this movie was. Man, I really do hope to see a good Akshay Kumar movie in the near future, because the ones I've seen in the recent past are nowhere as good as they could have been. While it is a visual spectacle, if I did have to rate Prithviraj, I'd probably give it like 4 out of 10 Prithvirajas, because the potential was so high. And the execution of the movie, well, you're probably better off watching movies like Major or Vikram or rewatching Top Gun 2 for that matter in the theater. If you did watch the movie, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. If you haven't yet, let me know what you thought about the review down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you soon with another review. Till then, take care. Peace.